We work hard, we play hard. We are gamerpreneurs. Individuals who have chosen to give up the security of a 9 to 5 in favor of getting to set our own hours, of doing the work that we want to do, and we refuse to give up the hobby that we grew up with in order to, quote, grow up. We have learned countless laws of life and sales from the games that we play, and we excel in everything we do. We see the wonder and glory in every interaction. We fit in awkwardly with the rest of the world because they don't understand our quirkiness, and we wear it as a badge of pride. We are focused, clear, and know what we want. We are gamerpreneurs, and we are taking over the world. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest for you. We have the one and only Forgotten Virtue. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So it's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas today. How about yourself, sir?
It's a little cold out here in Madison, Wisconsin, but at least it hasn't started snowing yet.
Just you wait.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Actually,
get too
don't
bad up
mind,
there,
though.
does it? I mean, it's normally just cold in Wisconsin. I don't think it gets too snowy.
Yeah, it does get pretty snowy from time to time, but I don't mind it too much because I do enjoy to go snowboarding from time to time.
Okay, wonderful. So, Forgotten Virtue, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, right now I'm a 30-year-old dad. I just had my first daughter. She's
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a trip, isn't it?
Yeah, she's going to be 14 months old soon, and I got married about 5 years ago, and I have a degree in chemistry, which is a little different than a lot of people out there that I know that are streaming, but my background is not very businessy, but throughout college, me and my friends would always be gaming, and it was a way for us to keep together, stay connected, because after college, we kind of all spread out through the country.
Sure.
I got friends in California. I got friends in Texas. I got friends from a lot of different places. And then we used gaming to kind of stay together and kind of keep in touch with each other in our lives. So right now, I've been taking kind of a little break from streaming because I wanted to kind of get some cash, because I was doing it kind of part-time for a while, streaming, and I was like, oh, this is really fun to do, and I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't bringing in the kind of money that I would be needing to support a family and stuff. So I got a new job. I went to Lazy Boy as a furniture salesperson, and while I'm there, I've been talking to them a lot about Twitch and opportunities to maybe do some advertising for them in my stream as a potential source of income.
Hey, that would be awesome. Get Lazy Boy as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Think of the chair they donate.
Yeah, it would be a sweet chair.
So I always like to start off my podcast on a kind of a fun note. Can you tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you?
Well, it would take a little while for people to get to know me, but I think once you start to get to know me, it's going to be up closer to the 9s, maybe in the 9.9 region.
All right. Well, so we know you like snowboarding. What else you like?
Yeah. Cooking, video games, obviously. First-person shooters mostly. I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. That's kind of like what really got me into streaming on Twitch to begin with.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about how you first got started streaming?
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw it advertised one day on the internet, and I was like, this is kind of interesting. I think I first heard of Twitch when that Pokemon thing was going, or the chat could control.
Twitch plays Pokemon? Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Twitch plays Pokemon.
I'll admit I spent a few hours watching that.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of grabbed me into that kind of world. And I thought, this is really neat. And I've just was browsing through there and seeing all the different people playing all the different games and doing different arts and crafts. And I thought to myself that there's a huge potential for people on Twitch to earn a lot of money and to do something that they actually really enjoy doing as a way of, earning and entertaining people and connecting with people on a deeper level. Not just teaching games, but like really getting to know people from all around the world. So I just
Okay.
saw it as a really awesome potential for a lot of neat things.
All right. So what did you do on your stream? Did you play? Did you do other kinds of activities?
Yeah, I mostly played to start with. I remember playing Halo a lot because that's another one of my favorites, and just wanting my friends to watch, and just like kind of give that feeling of like somebody being there with you in the room almost watching. Because a lot of times in college, I remember going to my friends' dorm rooms and we would just sit and watch people play video games, maybe switch off, take turns and everything. So it was kind of doing that just over the computer instead of being there physically, because like I was saying, my friends have all moved. So it was just kind of a way to stay connected at first.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, besides the connection, you got the chat and you kind of got the interface of having to be part of this community and engaging with people if you want people to watch you. Was there anything that you did when you first started to try to get people to come on board?
Yeah, it was just kind of like more reactive to like the game and stuff, like big emotion. And um, I think that kind of attracted people. Um, and then the more and more that I noticed the people that would come in would be regulars, I noticed them too having like big reactions on stream and like spamming emotes and in chat and stuff, and that always like made me feel really good. So it made me want to keep playing and keep streaming.
All right. So there's a feedback loop. The more you're bigger, the more the chat kind of acts bigger, makes you feel better and want to do it
Yeah,
more. And
yeah, exactly.
okay. Was there anything else that you tried? I think before we started, you mentioned that you had some sort of like contest going on.
Oh yeah. So another way of trying to get people to come into my chat would be, that your typical like giveaway clickbait kind of thing. But I wasn't able to give away like, computers or computer parts or anything like that. My thing was I would engrave on a jar like the characters in the game that I would be playing. So on Rainbow Six, for example, I would do like a kind of like a chibi style um, caricature of like IQ as one of the characters in the game, or Jaeger, and then give those away. And then you could, do whatever you wanted with that.
How did you do that? Was that by hand or did you order that from somewhere?
Yeah, by hand with a Dremel. So I thought it was kind of more of a personal touch if I were to like create something and give it away to, my fan base or my chat, rather than just buying something and giving it away.
Oh, that's pretty cool. When did you first start getting into dremeling jars?
Um, I don't know how that came about. It just I saw another stream where people were dremeling glasses, like wine glasses, and making designs. So I thought that was really cool, and I was like, I've never even known about that. I never even tried that, and that was another thing I discovered while on Twitch. And then I remember like seeing somebody making chain mail for like teddy bears and cats and stuff, which I thought was really interesting too.
Okay, so there are
But
apparently some blacksmiths on Twitch. I didn't know
yeah.
that. So, you started your stream and then you kind of got into it. About how big did you get before you decided to take a break?
Well, I was always trying to meet follower goals. So like the first one, I think everybody has like to get 100 followers. And once I reached that, I was like, oh, it's a small goal, but it's still was me meeting some kind of goal, and that kept me going. So like, okay, let's do the 250 follower goal, the 500 follower. So I got to around like 560 something followers right now.
Okay.
And I got the Twitch affiliate, which was nice. I didn't even know that I was meeting the criteria by the time they sent me like an email for it. So I just signed up for that, and started getting a few subscribers here and there, and that kind of just kept me wanting to do it a little more and more. Uh, Around the time I needed to take a break was around the time my daughter was born, because
That makes sense.
yeah.
You didn't sleep for weeks.
No, no.
For those of you who don't have kids, it is the worst 6 months of your life.
Do you have kids?
I have a daughter. We just put her down, so I get it. She's 2.5.
Yeah.
That first 6 months, it's a screaming potato. Just a
Yeah.
screaming potato the whole time.
Yeah. But luckily we got our lazy boy recliner. It helps
Shout
a
out.
whole lot.
All right. So what unique skills would you say that you've had that were able to attract people to you?
um wow, unique skills. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. I've
What do you
always
think
been
sets
kind
you
of
apart
like
from maybe some other streamer?
um I guess I'm not really afraid to talk about kind of controversial issues on my stream. I always thought like that kind of also helped bring more people in, because there'd be kind of this argument going on in my chat more times than not about, different things that are going on in the games that I'm playing, or maybe something political. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about politics within their chat, but I always kind of like was facilitating like a debate sometimes in my chat, acting as the moderator, making sure the discussion stayed civil for the most part, allowing some things to be said, probably, here and there, that would maybe trigger some people. But I always felt like it's so, as long as everybody's, friends at the end of it, it's all right.
Sure, and it probably made for a fairly active chat too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What kind of resources did you use? Was there any software that you used to stream? What kind of equipment did you have?
Yeah, I started off with like the OBS, and as I think like all of the software that I'm using now is all Streamlabs OBS, and like the Streamlabs chat bot. But there was always like a lot of resources out there as far as how to set all that up on Reddit and just forums for everything. So I also had a friend of mine from work before I started Lazy Boy, who also liked the idea of getting into streaming, and him and I would just kind of work together and kind of figure things out and kind of bounce questions off of each other back and forth on, you know, I saw that you figured out how to add this type of graphic and make this type of scene. How did you do that? And then he would show me, like on a test stream, how to do all these things. So finding somebody that kind of is more techie helped me out. And then, I helped him out with other things too, like just kind of brainstorming different ideas together. And because he was somebody that I worked with, we were always kind of talking about it on our downtime when we weren't slaving away.
It's working so hard. No, that's great. No, having somebody to help you is fantastic. I mean, if you don't have a skill set, find someone who does, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, about how long have you kind of been in that world of streaming?
Oh, on and off for probably like 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay.
Um,
Now,
for a long time. Yeah.
oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, for a long time, I was doing it very consistently, and I would see my numbers, my average viewership, 10. Like, it's not crazy numbers or anything, but, once you get 10 people in chat that are active and engaging, I mean, it's it's fun then. It gets really fun.
All right. So about 2.5 years you've been on and off as a streamer. If you could go back in time and talk to little Forgotten Virtue and say, little Forgotten Virtue, this is what you need to do in order to have a successful stream, what would you say?
Um, Consistency and a schedule.
Why is that important?
Well, because I think it's going to get the people who are regulars to know your schedule, and they're going to be able to plan to come around in your stream more so than if you just kind of do it randomly. People might not always be there. They might be at work doing something. Once I think you get your schedule set, more and more the regulars start to come around because they're wanting to play with you at the same time that you're playing.
Okay, let's talk about regulars for a second. How important do you think a regular is for a streamer?
I think they're vital to making a successful streamer because if you have regulars who are loyal and willing to, send your link out and attract more people to come into the stream for you, I mean that's what it's all about. I think it's just having people help you out and get your name out there. Because the more people you have like that, the more chances you have of attracting other people in.
Wonderful. That's fantastic advice. Thank you. Now, say I don't have a stream yet myself. Say me, little, Dr. Bradford Carlton, I'm thinking of starting a stream. I have no idea what I need or how to start or where to begin. What do I do?
Let's see. Reddit is a great place to go, or you could just ask people on Twitch. Most people are pretty open about answering, questions. I think, especially smaller streamers. I think if you go into some huge streamers chat, it's gonna be tough to get your questions answered. I think, but other people who are also starting out, I think, are good resources because everybody's still learning. Everybody's on the same level. And it's always a good idea, I think, to learn along with other people. And that's kind of what I did in the beginning too. Um, once I got the basics down, I was kind of able to create my own kind of format.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much. Now I want to kind of pull back for a second. We've been talking kind of the business side of this. Let's talk about you. You as a gamer, I want your gaming cred. When did you first start playing video games?
Oh man, that's a long time ago. Probably Super Nintendo. I remember being in an apartment with my mom and older brother, and we would play, Super Mario and Donkey Kong just all the time. That and my cousin would come over. He had Sega, so that was like the first console war that I went through. I was a Nintendo fanboy, and he was on the Sega side of things. So anytime I would go over to his house, we'd be playing Sonic. He'd come over, and we'd be playing Mario. So,
All right. Between the two, if you had to choose, which would it be? Mario or Sonic?
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Personally, I'm a Nintendo guy myself. I had the Genesis, I had all of the games, and just it felt better on the Nintendo.
yeah, yeah. I think
Right.
it's just classic. I got nothing against Sonic and all the Sega. There's some great Sega games out there. It was Road Rash was another one that we had a lot of fun playing. They got a new one of those coming out. I think it might be out already, actually. A lot better graphics than the.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Are there any games coming out that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, like I have been slacking on keeping up to date with all the new releases because of the grind at Lazy Boy and being a new dad. But hopefully I'm going to be able to slowly work the Twitch life back into my schedule. And then I'll have learned a lot from what I was doing wrong before, hopefully, to kind of make things grow a little bit better for myself the second time around.
All right. Well, if you want to turn your daughter into a streamer, about age 2 is when they start like thinking about it.
Okay.
Mine sits there and watch VODs all day with me, just YouTube all day long with me.
My wife says no screens for our daughter until she's 2 years old. So it's tough to keep the screens away from
It
her.
is tough, but it's a great lesson because their little brains just can't handle it.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite game of all time, my friend?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Halo 2, just because I remember playing that in high school and just having the time of my life playing that with my high school buddies. Um, Hosting tournaments at our school for that. That was a great memory that I think I'll always have with me. I took second place in that tournament with my team, and we won some frozen custard, raspberry frozen custard.
Oh man, big spender
Yep.
here.
Yeah, huge prize, but it was something. It was a good memory.
Sure, but I mean, even back then, nobody really cared too much about gamers. It's not like today with esports where you can actually win a prize pool.
Yeah. I would have never thought when I was in high school that gaming would be so big today. It's amazing.
Right? We were all
And
losers back then, right?
my
So you have
mom,
you take your Game Boy to school, connect it to other people's Game Boys.
yeah, those are the days, man.
All right.
I still bring my Nintendo SP sometimes around and play Zelda: Link to the Past around at work, and people look at me like, what's wrong with this guy? Doesn't he ever put a game down? Like, he should get to work, get a real job. Like, calm down.
The funny thing about that, I've had a bunch of office jobs, and you go into the lunchroom and you'll see ladies on their cell phones playing games, but those
Yeah.
aren't real games because that's just on the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gamers and they just don't admit it. So, kind of pulling back a little bit, another question, kind of to get your gaming cred going. If you could be any video game character ever, who would you be?
I guess it's gonna have to go back to Halo because that was my game in high school. I'd go with Master Chief.
Okay. Launch out yourself out of a hangar with a bomb on your wrist, right?
Yeah, no problem. Easy peasy.
Okay. Now I want to talk about you a little less as a gamer, more as a person.
Okay.
I like to humble my guests just a little bit by asking them what's something that you failed at, because I want everybody to understand that not everybody is 100% perfect. So can you kind of tell us something that you have failed at in the past?
Nothing, man. I've never failed at anything.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful. I failed at a ton of stuff myself. I've had
uh,
multiple businesses crash and burn, but you just keep chugging.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I failed at streaming or anything because I'm still not done with it. But I feel like I failed at keeping a good, consistent schedule because there would be a few times here or there that I would just not be mentally ready to be streaming on any given day, and I'd just be like, okay, it's okay if I take a day off, but that kind of mentality, like let me take one more day or here or there, it was kind of detrimental because if you're not doing that or if you're not streaming on a consistent or daily basis, I think people kind of just end up forgetting about you and like, okay, well, he's no longer online ever, so we're just gonna kind of go and watch some other people. But as far as something that's not Twitch related that I've failed at, I mean, I've failed my driver's test before. I've failed classes before.
All right, let's talk about the point you were just making. So say there's somebody out there who's considering, I don't really want to play today. I haven't played for a couple days. I was supposed to, but what advice would you give them to kind of get them back into it?
I think having a morning routine, like eat a good meal, be physiologically ready, do some exercises in the morning because if you're going to be streaming for a long period of time, you're going to want to be active for just as much time, I think, as well. I think So maybe taking regular breaks as well during stream, or having meals ready to go uh, that you can just have whenever, you start to feel a little fatigued or hungry. Um, just kind of developing a daily kind of routine, just kind of like a ritual almost, to make sure you're going to be in the right mindset every day for your stream and for the people that come and watch.
Sure, and drink plenty of water too.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about your chat a little bit. Um, Good chat, bad chat. Did you have a good chat or a bad chat?
I had a mixed chat, I think, kind of like me not being mentally prepared for every day. I think my chat was almost the same way. Like they'd come in and maybe be really negative, and that would kind of rub off on me and be like, oh, okay, it's gonna be one of those streams where I'm trying to have to like cheer everybody up, kind of. Sometimes they'd come in and they'd be fired up and ready to play, and like we'd all be hyped up, and those were awesome days. Those are great days. I wish every day of streaming could be that way.
I wish every day generally could be like
Yeah.
that. What do you think the best compliment they ever gave you was?
Oh, that I was a god. I'm a god at the game. Those types of compliments are always really nice to receive when you are winning like 10, 12 games in a row and you're MVP, 9 times out of 10. Uh, and then they're saying, oh, you could take on, some other top streamers, or you could beat this guy easily. Those are the days, I love my chat. Chat, come on, come over here.
Sure.
You guys are invited over anytime.
How
And
about
then
on the
there's other
other
days where
platform?
it's the complete opposite.
I
So,
want to talk about that. What do you think the worst trolling you've ever gotten was?
oh man, where's that one YouTube video that they always send me? Like it's like somebody knocking. It sounds like it's like behind you, and they always get me with that. And no matter how many times I open that link, that was always kind of creepy. Like, oh man, is there somebody here? But
So it was good-natured trolling. You didn't have anything
yeah, it
bad.
was pretty
Okay.
good natured trolling. The worst trolls I would get would be not the people in chat, but the people in game that I'm like playing against. The hate mail would would be pretty severe sometimes, but I mean that's just all a part of gaming.
Sure. You play on the Xbox then? So
I do play on
that
Xbox.
mail is usually pretty toxic.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about the community of streamers. You mentioned the small streamers. What's the community like?
Oh, I think the community is pretty great. You got to find some people that are willing to kind of work with you, network with you. Sharing viewers is a big thing. A lot of people, I think, will get I don't know, very possessive of their viewers, and probably rightfully so, because they don't want to see their numbers go down. I mean, that's a big thing. But having somebody that you can raid and who will return the favor, I think, is a big thing. Some people will take advantage of you, like you're, all right, here you go, here's some of my viewers, and then you never see them kind of send anybody your way. So that, I don't know, you might want to cut those types of people out of your little network that you're building on Twitch.
So that applies just generally marketing in general. You get to, or networking in general. You get to know somebody. You're like, oh, hey, can you send me business? I'll send you business, and you send them a bunch of stuff, and you never hear from them. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just generally that's people. So that's awesome. All right, man. Forgotten Virtue. This has been absolutely a wonderful interview. Thank you so much. How can people get in touch with you? How do they find you? Where are you at on social media?
Check me out on Twitter at Forgotten Virtue with O's instead of, or excuse me, zeros instead of the letter O. Twitch.tv/Forgotten Virtue. I'm also moving into trying to do things on Facebook as well. So I got a Facebook group, Forgotten Virtues Gaming Dojo, where we teach you all about how to game. And I like to teach people who are new to streaming how to stream as well.
Can you tell us more about that? I'd love to hear about your Facebook group.
Yeah. So I just started it like last week. So there's really nothing much on there right now, but I plan on having it be a place where people can come and share links, share memes, share their clips, just anything about gaming. It could be non-gaming related too, just like, your life outside of streaming and how you maybe apply what you learn on Twitch or what you learn in gaming to real life as well, because I feel like there's areas where you can apply what you learn in certain things to your life as well.
You are singing to the choir, my friend.
So if you guys want to check that out, it's on Facebook, like I said, Forgotten Virtues Gaming Dojo. Otherwise I got Instagram too. It's all the same, Forgotten Virtue, with the number 0s.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This has been fantastic. Is there anything we didn't discuss you think we should have?
What about you? What's your favorite game? And what video game character do you think you'd want to be? Wow,
nobody's actually asked me these questions. I consider them like, I don't know if I have an answer. If I had to guess, I would say Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time. I love that game. It's my favorite game. And when I first got it, I got to the future and I got to the robo battle with like the 6 robots. And I couldn't beat it. I was so young. It terrified me. So I put it down for like a full year before I picked it back up. But as soon as I picked it back up, I figured out how to beat them. I play that game like every 6 months. I love it. If I had to pick a video game character, I'd probably pick Mario just because it's such a happy-go-lucky life, and you take some mushrooms all the time.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. You're the first person to actually ask me a question on my podcast.
Well, maybe if you have me around more often, I'll think of some more questions, and we'll have maybe a discussion in the future.
Absolutely. No doubt. All right. Well, Forgotten Virtue, thank you so much for coming on today. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. You take it easy.
Yeah. See you later.
Hey, if you like this podcast, I'd love to invite you to check out a little bit more about me, Dr. Bradford Carlton, gamerpreneur. If you go to my website, www.thegamerpreneur.com/bonus, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, The Warcraft of Business, where I explain my history in both gaming and business and how I brought the two together in order to create some very successful companies and help a lot of people. And all you got to do is pay for shipping and processing, and I'll send you this book. I absolutely know you're going to love it. All right, you all take it easy.